Please use subscribe, like, and share to stay informed about the latest developments in 2024-2025 season. Now, let's analyze the match properly.
Manchester United 3, Southampton 0. The Red Devils got all the 3 points with an unspectacular but professional performance against Southampton. In this video, I am going to show you the fascinating tactical battle that has been unfolding before our eyes. Without any further ado, so let's get started with this tactical analysis video. Now, of course, I like to structure my videos in a way that shows you the good and the bad, and in a way that shows you the problems as well as the solutions. So here, let's outline the problem. The problem that Manchester United faced against Southampton is, of course, that Southampton were very compact, very narrow. In fact, they played a sort of a 4-3-1-2 kind of formation. They also switched to a 3-5-2 at different stages in the game. But the main principle that they approached this game with is, of course, compactness and being narrow and restricting space through the middle. The logic behind that, especially when you play Manchester United, is that our danger man, our talisman, is Bruno Fernandes. If you cut that supply to Bruno Fernandes, the truth of the matter, the sad truth, is that Manchester United are toothless, okay? And so a lot of teams try to do that against us, and Southampton have actually done that well for the first 30 minutes. So here, let's start with the bad, okay? So in this sequence, as you can see, a lot of Southampton players through the middle. Also Mazraoui, slotting into this the middle of the pitch, traditional inverted wing back kind of role right here. But I'm not sure that this was the right tactical choice by Erik Ten Hag. And as you can see, we don't really have much room to actually play through the middle, so we have to go on the wings. But here you can see the next problem, which is these players, Amad Diallo, Kobbie Mainoo, and Mazraoui, are kind of in a linear position. And you don't want to be positioned, in a straight line because you need to create a zigzag type of patterns whenever you play football, because you want to create as many triangles as possible. That helps with ball retention because you provide more passing lanes to each player. Here, that wasn't the case, okay? And so obviously this is not good positioning from the Manchester United players. And here also bad positioning from Bruno Fernandes, whose off the ball movement is actually one of his strengths. He's positioned here. He actually should be further wide to allow this, or to make this midfielder follow him, therefore opening up this passing lane for Amad Diallo so he can find Christian Eriksen. But of course this didn't happen, and so we had no choice but to go back to Onana. And so of course for the first 30 minutes, where Southampton were clearly the better side, we simply failed to play through their compact block. However, this is an example of a situation where we actually handled that situation much better. So here, Lisandro Martinez goes wide. As you can see, between Dalot, Mainoo, there is a triangle that's actually much cleaner, much better. And then here, Dalot is able to find Bruno Fernandes. Why is that? Is because Downs over here was actually dragged wide by Christian Eriksen. This actually mirrors the situation that we had earlier with Bruno Fernandes up there. Christian Eriksen, with his movement, he allows Dalot to actually find Bruno Fernandes right here, and then he can make a run into space where Bruno Fernandes can find him. And then with this, we can create penetration and verticality, which allows us to beat the press, but also to create chances. The sad truth, though, is that Manchester United for the first 30 minutes, we did not do that enough. Southampton, on the other hand, were actually much better at it than us. For example, in this sequence, as you can see, the Manchester United players, again, compact and narrow. So Southampton players have to find a solution, and they do. Here, I really like this sequence. I included it. Similar sequences have happened like 4 or 5 times, but this one is one of my favorites. As you can see, the Southampton players are lined up in a diamond formation, so that's literally a double triangle kind of formation. And here Sugawara is making a third man run, and that's actually one of the most underrated moves in football. So as you can see, quickly they can find him, and here Rashford is out and all of our midfield is bypassed, okay? And Southampton were actually able to find a lot of these situations where they can play through the wings and not through the middle. And by using these kind of patterns of play, here's another example. As you can see, 6 Manchester United players, just clogging in that midfield position. But Southampton are, of course, going to find a way around it. And this way they go wide and they go direct, obviously, with this player over here, where De Ligt and Christian Eriksen are unsure who is supposed to mark him. And that's why Southampton, for the first 30 minutes of the game, they looked like the better side, and we were on the back foot, because they were always able to find ways to play through the wings, to bypass that compactness that we have and cause us all kinds of problems, right? And we were unable to do it to them with any type of consistency, okay? And then you might say, well, Mr. Scarlet Report, okay, all of this is good, it's insightful, etc. But how did this actually affect the result of the game? Well, the two pivotal moments in the game, the turning point, has been the Southampton penalty that was saved by Onana, and of course the De Ligt goal, which came immediately after. Because that was actually the moment where you could just feel the energy and the enthusiasm and the confidence just sucked out of Southampton. The whole stadium was quiet, that's it. And from that point on, there was only one outcome out of this matchup, and it was a Manchester United win. So now let's look at how did they actually get the penalty, because both their penalty as well as the De Ligt goal came from patterns of playing on the wings rather than through the middle. So here, as we can see, this is just poor from Manchester United. Look at this, 7 Manchester United in, the 25% of the pitch's width. That's simply unacceptable. And that's due to the Southampton players being narrow, moving as a unit, keeping the ball in that area. It just drags all of the Manchester United players towards them. Now Sugawara is free. Remember the sequence, because Manchester United in the second half mirrored this exact sequence with Mazraoui instead of Sugawara. So here he gets it, and then of course he's got a lot of space, and then we find ourselves in this situation where Dalot has a 1v1 situation. He lost the duel, and then they got a penalty. Diogo Dalot has to take Onana out to dinner. And Onana, big game players. This was a big moment, and I'll tell you why. Had we conceded that penalty, had Onana not saved the penalty, I am not sure whether we would have gotten anything out of this game. Probably the best we could have hoped for is a draw, maybe 1-1, okay? Why? Because we're not the most confident outfit out there. We lost to Brighton and to Liverpool. Southampton would have felt that. Had they scored that goal, galvanized with their supporters, I don't think our